Hello and welcome to In the Weeds. We're recording live from the Picky Weeds Esoteric Occult Boutique, located just south of Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, in beautiful South Abington Township. Picky Weeds is the largest and most diverse boutique of its kind in northeast Pennsylvania, with an increasingly wide variety of items for many traditions.
In addition to items for sale, Picky Weeds hosts a wide variety of classes, events, and community-driven gatherings throughout the year. Picky Weeds is located at 105 Layton Road, South Abington Township, PA. Open Wednesday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. More information can be found at www.pickyweeds.com. That's PICKEYWEEDZ.com, or on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. In the Weeds is the official podcast for Picky Weeds, where we strive to bring the community together with topics of interest, guest speakers, and informative discussions to benefit the entire community.
If you'd like to be a guest speaker, either live or remote call-in, please visit www.pickyweeds.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, find In the Weeds podcast guest application, click it, copy and paste the text into an email with your contact information, and send it to us at pickyweeds@gmail.com.
Now let's get in the weeds.
Good morning, everybody. Season 3, Episode 3, and the 2 weeks that feel like 4 years already.
Oh, what a year January's been.
Oh, my God. Has that been insane or what?
Jesus fuck.
When you wake up and you realize that you're summoning the light for its cleansing properties only. It's been a bad, bad year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just can't wait for another 3 years.
Yeah. Yay, us. Where's the army? Where the hell are you? Oh,
Yeah. They changed some shit, so
still constitutionally.
Well, it's
Yeah.
they took away their constitutional right.
And gave it to Congress?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, because we're counting on those fuckheads.
Yeah. Yeah.
To police themselves.
Isn't that interesting
Really?
how they do that? You know, like the post-Nixon time, yeah.
Nixon looks like a wet dream
He
compared to
does.
this bullshit.
Oh, my God. He was a joy and a pleasure.
I mean, he was a fucking piece of shit, but good God.
He didn't rise to this kind of Marvel evil villain status. Yeah, yeah.
You know, look, it's corporate habit, right? And we tried
We tried to tell you.
to just be Switzerland.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't, in good conscience, be Switzerland.
Yeah. I say that crap all the time when somebody's in here talking to me about their relationship. And
Trying
I know
to involve you in their bullshit.
I know both partners.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm Switzerland.
Get the fuck
Sorry.
out of here with that shit.
Yeah. Don't get me in the middle of your domestic disturbance.
And they're like, you own a store. You shouldn't alienate your Well, you know what? I don't fucking want you.
Yeah, my customers shouldn't alienate me either.
I don't fucking want you. If you're for this shit, fuck you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't give
Yeah.
a shit. Fuck you.
If you're for hurting the people I love,
Yeah.
die in a fire.
Yeah.
And that's as polite as I'm going to be. And if you're going to come at me with your nonsensical bullshit, I'm going to ask you to cite your resources and your science.
They can't, though. All
Cite.
they do is parrot bullshit.
Then I don't want to hear it.
You
How
know?
about that?
And that's all it is. It's
Yeah.
just regurgitated crap.
Speaking of science, I was looking at a document that I have saved as a PDF.
Good thing.
And I went to I went to look at it on the NIH website to see if it had been updated. There were about 60 studies linked to that thing. And now I can't find it, maybe 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not using it already, highly recommend downloading the Brave browser.
Yes.
Just trust me.
Yeah.
Look up something on Google
And then look it up on
without
Brave.
a VPN, and look up something on Brave and look at the difference in information, the volume of information that you get.
And now that we've said that, play with your VPN settings a little bit, because they'll eventually get wise to it and you'll have to switch. You have to change some things around. So I recommend maybe downloading Tor.
Yeah, Switzerland was when it was just rhetoric.
Yeah.
Right? Just blowhard, running his yap.
Yeah.
You know, Switzerland ended the day rhetoric became action.
Yeah, nobody thought there were a bunch of Nazis in our government actually laying in wait, did they?
You know,
I did, but
maybe in hindsight, we should have stopped being Switzerland a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But it's ingrained coming from the corporate world that you don't get your business involved
with
in
politics and
all that
religion
shit.
and
I mean, we're involved with religion, but we try to be neutral to everybody, and we still are.
Yeah.
In that aspect.
I'm still Switzerland unless the family or the Seven Mountains people walk through my door, and then all bets are off.
Then we have a problem.
And I may be going to jail today. I don't know.
You're going to leave, and you're going to meet the fine officers of South Abington PD.
Yes.
Who do an amazing job.
Yeah, we love you guys.
In our area.
Yeah.
And look, even coming from a cop family, I've grown over the years to not be trusting of police.
Yeah.
Because of the bad apples that are in them, and they seem to just remain there and rot the whole basket.
You know, what's funny is you saw the Fraternal Order of Police really change their tune after endorsing him for this election.
I mean, what the fuck were you thinking endorsing a fucking 34-time felon?
Oh, now he's coming after you.
The FOP. Really?
Welcome to the club, boys. Yeah.
What the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's just this nonstop cult behavior.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about breaking the spell on the last episode, and look what's happening.
Yes.
Now that it affects them personally, oh shit, all of a sudden it became important, and we need to do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that it affects you.
Now that it affects you.
Your neighbors getting hauled off, no big
Wait
deal.
till tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The market's going to fucking tank.
Yeah, yeah.
All these hedge fund managers are betting on it tanking so they can make millions off people's misery.
And to be honest with you, I've been yelling about that for about 2 weeks, and nobody wants to hear it.
No.
Nobody wants to hear it, but it's what's going to happen.
Well, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You see the pattern.
Yeah, you just see the pattern.
Months in advance.
Yeah.
You see what they're going to do because you've seen this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when things start to align with patterns from the past, guess what? It's probably going to play out very similar. This time much worse.
Yeah.
I'll be 54 years old this year. I've never seen any of this shit, nor would I have ever bet that this kind of shit.
What happened here?
Where you have an unelected fuckhead billionaire with his grubby goddamn fingers on everybody's PII.
Where they purged 3.5 million votes from the system.
Personal identifiable information.
Yeah, yeah. He has personal identifiable information.
He has his hands in the treasury.
He has his hands on the button that pays the bills.
And they wanted to make up stories about President Obama being from Africa. This motherfucker is from Africa. He is an immigrant himself.
His father was apartheid.
Don't you love how all the deportation language just skirts the first lady and their children and
the children who are birthright citizens who would need to be deported the minute he puts that order into effect.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but no, there are exceptions. Mm-hmm. Because there's always exceptions.
Yeah,
You know,
there's two sets of rules. Yeah.
It's exhausting. And look, we're right there with you all that
he needs to be deported. Wait, he's a birthright citizen, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all angry. We're all frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. And the frustration doesn't end with the, let's call them what they are, Nazis taking over and trying to install their authoritarian fascist regime. It doesn't end there. The frustration is also with the Democratic Party, who are so focused on being in lines with decorum and trying to be, I don't know what, take the high road to the point of everyone's destruction.
Yeah.
That they're useless.
Well, you know, you have a theory, and so we've been talking about this for a while, that they're waiting for MAGA to turn on him so that they don't have to have a civil war. They're going to let them start the insurrection, then they're going to step in.
I get that.
Yeah.
And I still stand by that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all of us are standing here with our hat in hand.
Yeah, wondering where our money's going, and I'm worried about the FDIC crashing this week.
You know, what do we do?
Yeah.
You know, we're just individuals in this fucking chaotic nightmare.
Yeah.
And, you know, I saw a story of a trans person that wrapped themselves in the trans flag and jumped off a fucking building.
Yeah, and we didn't see that in the news anyway.
This is what we're coming to. This is...
Yeah.
and look, trigger warning. I should have probably said that before I said that, but
I really hope some people are triggered in a way.
how do you
because
get
I want you
off
to wake up.
harming
Yeah.
entire sectors of the population without any regard? You're a fucking monster. And if you voted for that shit
Yeah.
and you still believe in that shit,
You
and you're
signaled
still
what you truly
spouting
are is
that
what you
shit,
did. Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck you.
You don't belong in
You're
polite
going to lose
society.
me as a customer. Good, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Keep on walking.
Bye.
Because I don't fucking want you.
Yeah.
And those that are realizing, oh, I fucked up, and then want to come crawling, fuck you too.
I'm not crying for you.
Fuck you too.
No empathy.
You knew, you were told for 9 fucking years what this motherfucker was, and those of us that have been alive, since the fucking 70s and
Or
80s.
worked on any of his projects in construction in the 80s.
We knew full well what the
Yeah,
fuck he
yeah.
was. He's always been this way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a surprise. It is a surprise to the level that he's taking it now, but he's fucking deranged.
And I gotta tell a secret that's not really a secret. He said he was going to run as a Republican because they were rubes and they were useful. He was a Democrat for years and years and years and was best friends with Hillary and Bill.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, absolutely.
They all partied together.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that he said it jokingly at the time, but now we know he meant it, that he thought that party was full of idiots. The old Republican Party, the Republican Party of Eisenhower and my parents and my grandparents was a good party.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are a handful of them left
Yeah.
in power. But I think the thing that's most frustrating is watching what should have been our last remaining guardrails, and that is the media.
Yeah.
Those Republicans that you just mentioned, big tech corporations that used to ban him,
Yeah.
are now bending the knee and kissing the ring.
They're complicit.
And they're absolutely
They
complicit.
see the writing of the money on the wall. It's a money grab.
But they have not paid attention in
Yeah.
history class.
Yeah.
Because if you had, history shows this kind of behavior time and time and time again, and it always ends the same way.
Yeah, badly for them.
You will forever, ever
Yeah.
be tied to this.
Yeah.
Forever. Till the end of times. And you can rewrite the books all you want. The truth will eventually come out.
Mm-hmm.
You can only lie so much to so many people before it just blows up in your face yet again.
I mean, for example, one dictator comes to mind. That's Putin.
Mm-hmm.
He'll sit 30 feet away from his own people because they've tried to kill him so many times that he's worried they're going to poison him.
You can't ever slip
yeah,
up.
yeah.
You can't ever slip up.
He's worried they're going to touch him.
Every sip you take, every drink you take,
Yeah,
they'll be watching
every
you.
step you make. They'll be watching you.
You know, you have no peace in
Yeah.
your life
Yeah.
whatsoever. Are you really winning?
Yeah.
You counting your gold like a fucking dragon?
Yeah, what's the quality of life in that? And he's owned by oligarchs. He's not pulling the strings.
But then you look, President Carter may have made some errors when he was a president. I remember blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But you know what? He had a heart of fucking gold.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you need any further examples of that, look at the way he lived his life post-presidency.
Yeah.
In service of others.
He turned out to be one hell of a statesman.
In
He
service
really
of
did.
people of
Yeah.
need, in service of, until he could no longer lift a hammer.
And I also want to
know?
remind you, an incoming president, and he only had, 4 years, is working with what the previous executive left him for at least the first 2.5,
Yeah.
maybe even 3 years.
Yeah.
And by the time some of these presidents can get to the real issues that they wanted to work on, they're already a lame duck because they're on their way out.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that. A lot of these things that he instituted that people are blaming him for, he didn't institute.
No.
They just happened during his
And
presidency.
they politically frame it.
Yeah, they do. Every
So
administration
that every
does
rube
it.
that didn't pay attention
Yeah.
was too busy playing sports to pay attention in school, that doesn't understand civics.
What bothers me is that it seems that every previous administration sets the incoming administration up for failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's
really
in their best
do.
interest,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. So they can get
Politically.
reelected in 4 years. Yeah,
You're gonna in service of the party, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it was set up.
No.
But that is the way it is.
It's a rigged game.
Yeah,
The whole
it
thing's
is.
a rigged game.
And people are rubes.
Yeah.
People willfully either disconnect
Yeah.
or they connect to propaganda machine and to psyops operations.
Well, that's what I was going to say now. The people that are listening to these psyops, like these people claiming they're ex-CIA or Navy SEALs and making all these predictions. That Sean Ryan and that whatever that
curly-haired
that
dude
female was and the curly-haired guy.
Yeah.
Those are psyops. Yeah. Every last one of them. And if you're falling for it, you're part of the problem.
We should probably explain what a psyop is.
Yeah, it's a psychological operation which they work on your fear factor. They instill fear and they supplant you with false information so that you're totally buying in and you're totally on the page and you'll do exactly what the CIA wants you to do.
Yeah, so it's a two-pronged attack. Yeah. They do it to the public.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they also infiltrate organizations. And we saw that in the 60s and 70s where they infiltrated AIM, the American Indian Movement.
Yes. And the Black Panthers.
And the Black Panther Party.
And turned them against one another.
They destroy it from within.
Yeah.
So these are like, microcosmic examples of what they're now doing at the macro level.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah. Anything that would lend any kind of authority or power or maybe cause more people to listen to the message of marginalized groups so that straight white men can remain in power.
JFK, Cuba, I can go on and on and on.
So psychological operations is an entire division and they are trained specifically to undermine anything that they're pointed at.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
So they've got these fantastical tales that they tell that get you enraptured and draw you in and then instill fear in you, and they're meant to change the way that you think, and they work painfully well. And it's really shocking to me when people that I would consider learned or elders are pandering the same information about, and then like you said, maybe they didn't fall for it, maybe they're complicit.
Yeah.
And maybe they're the ones helping disseminate that information out to the public.
Yeah. They're pinch hitting in the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. And people believe it because we naturally, especially as Americans,
appeal to authority.
Have a natural appeal to authority ingrained upon us because, look, we're the same generation that we're forced to stand up, place our hand over our heart, and pledge allegiance.
Yeah.
As a child. You have no idea what you're doing at that age, but it's ingrained.
And, dude, it plays on your biases really quick and really hard.
Does.
And they mean to do that. So they really mean to play on those biases and play on those fears, especially white fear. You've had privilege forever. You've been the conquering hero forever.
Oh, yeah.
You've been the controller forever. And all of a sudden, there's less of you and more of them. And so they're really going to rack up your fears.
Yeah, I mean, we see it at the local level with people who we would normally respect. But every post on social media is a psychological operation designed to twist your head around. Well, shit, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, I'm not wrong.
But that's the design, right? Is to keep putting that stuff out there because enough of it comes out and people get overwhelmed by it. And they're like, well, he's much more learned, been around longer than me, so he must be right. No, even old people, especially old people, are wrong a lot.
They get way stuck in their biases because you start to lose cognition in the later years, and it can cause fear, confusion, anxiety, frustration, and then you fall into routines and biases, and you fall back on biases, and you get stuck. Notice it with some of your parents and grandparents they're getting on up in age and fearful of everything, and they'll only listen to certain people, and it's because those people appear strong. They appear strong and authoritative.
Yeah. That
appeal to authority really comes back to life in older age. We're bucking authority from about the time we're 16 forward into our 40s. In 50s, we start to try to fall back in line and assimilate back into society. And then by the time we're 60s, some of these psyops that go on undaunted have trained us to be fearful and to listen. Listen to that voice of authority. That sounds, they're well-spoken, well-trained, orators. And they really inspire an older mind.
J.D. Vance comes to mind because when you really listen to him speak, he's very polished.
Yeah.
He comes off the exact opposite of fucking dumbass. And he's, Ivy League educated.
He's terrifying.
And he's very smooth and non-confrontational, and
yes.
He speaks with authority as someone who has knowledge, but he's a fucking piece of shit.
Yes, he's a psyop.
He's a worse piece of shit because when you don't see a big orange Cheeto with bad hair, you see a very polished Ivy League person, and you tend to listen to that. It's an appeal to authority. We have to be very mindful of that ingrained trauma response, basically, to appeal to authority, to listen to them when they speak, because
Absolutely.
they're in a leadership position. And we have to remember that America really was built on a revolutionary spirit.
Yes, it was.
And that is also buried in there somewhere.
It's in their DNA.
Where the go fuck yourself is strong.
You need to summon that now.
And it's been maligned and used to vote against your own interests, to vote for people that want to rob you blind.
Yeah.
For people that are instituting tariffs on our allies for no fucking reason.
None.
It is even the Wall Street Journal, which itself is a compromised
And
publication.
Fox freaking News
Said the stupidest trade war ever.
Yeah.
And this is from
It's going to lead to embargoes.
this is from a publication that has been compromised for years. That has been part of the reason why these people are here.
Yeah.
And even they are thrown in the towel. This is ridiculous. Because why? Because now it's finally going to affect them.
Yeah.
Your pocketbook.
Yes.
It's going to affect all of us.
Yeah.
All of us. And it's terrifying what these idiots, these fucking idiots, are being allowed to do, and no one is standing up to oppose them. And I get it. We got to break the spell. Everybody's got to get some pain.
Yeah.
But every second you delay is another second for them to steal information, to relay it to our country's enemies.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
To steal the money from our treasury.
And people with good sense,
And it's our money.
good common sense, you would think, they would argue the point because of their party affiliation, and they couldn't possibly be, have been led by the nose. Because, well, I have a PhD, or I have a master's degree, or I have 20 years of experience, and nothing's going to... Yeah, you're human.
Yeah.
You can get fooled too. All of us can.
Yeah.
And we're all susceptible to this operation.
I'm seriously worried. I'm thinking about pulling all my funds out of the bank. With what's happening here and the whispers with the FDIC going down.
Yeah.
That means that's the federal insurance that insures the money that you have deposited in banks. Okay. If that happens like it did in Greece, you're going to go to the ATM and it's not going to give you any money. You're going to see a zero balance.
I mean, it was bad enough the first time he was in power when he, did the hire your family to be in charge of shit, which was bad because they're also stupid. But now you have full-scale predators.
Yeah.
Predators.
Yeah.
In charge of things.
Yeah.
Predators that are dismantling our democracy.
On purpose.
As we speak.
Yeah.
And they know exactly what they're doing.
They are not, listen to me, MAGA. They are not doing away with government bureaucracy.
No.
They are opening all the coffers and pocketing every bit of it.
Now, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
When we kind of reasoned it out. Well, yes, the organizations and departments definitely needed to be overhauled, looked at.
They need some checks and
It's way
balances.
too much bureaucracy. It's way too much bullshit. There's way too many dumbass shit that was put in there.
Absolutely.
But that dumbass shit is not what's happening now.
No.
This is a dismantling and destruction of our institutions.
When you've got a totally uncredentialed alien from another country dicking around in our treasury, kicking people out of the office.
Yeah.
And putting his thumb drives in their computers.
And you people that
pulling the data.
That give me the excuse, well, I just don't get into politics. Well, motherfucker,
Politics
is getting into you balls deep.
It's very interested in you. Yeah.
And you better wake the fuck up.
Because you are a money train.
And
that's all you are. Yeah.
I mean, it's terrifying what's happening. And the only way that we as little people is, well, you can try calling your senators and representatives, but they don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
I'd
still do it.
You can try writing them. They don't give a fuck.
It's fun to irritate the hell out of them.
Yeah, sure. Give it a shot, but in protests, they don't work.
No, I'm still stricken by the fact that people think they do after the 99% march.
They don't care. They get off on it. They get off on your misery.
They pour champagne on people, spit on them, flick cigarettes at them. I'm like, that's what they think of you, honestly.
And we're all...
They think you're cute.
Angry at each other.
Yeah.
And I am angry at each other.
Yes.
I am angry at the people who I normally would have respected.
Yes.
Normally would have thought very highly of for being so fucking stupid.
Let me tell you something about that, though. If you think an ex-CIA official doesn't have the tightest non-disclosure agreement ever in the history of the world since the mob, you're an idiot. They're not going to get on.
You don't talk
and talk about actions they've taken, places they've been, theaters they've worked in. They're not going to talk about that because what? They're not allowed to.
I mean,
ever.
Just the piddly little clearance that I had in the nuclear industry.
Eyes only.
I had access to eyes only stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
I've been away from the nuclear industry for decades.
Yeah.
I would never disclose anything.
I'm terrified
ever.
Too.
Well, it's not only just terrified; it's duty.
That's an airtight prison sentence, though.
Know that, but it's a personal duty.
Yeah.
Like it's important. And it's important to the safety and security of this country. I would never disclose those things.
I do believe if you were CIA and disclosing those things, you'd disappear.
Yeah, you get a sack over your head. Yeah. One-way trip to a desert somewhere.
Yeah. I've known a couple.
As you should.
They didn't talk about anything. Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
Those things are secret for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not to play games with.
Oh yeah.
Clearances are. I mean, look, even a basic nuclear security officer. They went back. I'm trying to remember. Was it 3 or 5 contacts deep? So if you gave 5 references, personal references, business references, personal references, they would take, the background investigators would take, say, one of those references, and they would go back 5 times.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And go deeper. They knew
to their family and their family.
They knew what I did in kindergarten.
Yeah. Yeah.
They knew what my parents did, my grandparents, my great-grandparents. If there was any history of any kind of any wrongdoing.
Like you had no secrets.
And that is the basic clearance.
Yeah.
That's not the level 1. Mm-mm. That's basic, everyday security officer. Because you think about it, you're walking around in an operational nuclear power station with a high-powered rifle, a shit ton of ammo, and all kinds of other goodies to make somebody's life really unpleasant.
And access to all kinds of secrets.
So they're exceptionally careful on who gets it. And to see this fucking lizard motherfucker with his hands and eyes in places he should not even be allowed in the lobby for is very disconcerting, especially as somebody that held a clearance.
Yeah.
And I know military people, other high-ranking government people, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah,
it's serious fucking business.
We used to get really upset at the things we needed that we didn't have clearance for.
Yep.
I mean, and that's the lumbering bureaucracy that people complain about. But you'd have to go to somebody with a superior clearance to you and get them to look into it and get them to help you with it. And then they still couldn't talk about it, but they couldn't. And it used to frustrate the hell out of you.
It's so highly regulated, as it should be.
Yes, as it should be.
It's supposed to be that way. There was good reason for that.
It's to protect us and protect you.
And we've thrown all that out the window and allowed this dumbass and his group of lackeys access to things that they shouldn't even be aware of, much less read.
And here's one thing they haven't thought about. If it does come down to another Nuremberg, those things that you don't know are to protect you so that you don't have things that you can testify to in a court of law. Should it come down to it.
He's threatening to use the military
you have plausible
and citizens.
deniability. Yeah.
And another thing about Nuremberg, I was just following orders.
Yeah, that didn't
they
fly.
Don't care.
And it does not fly.
That's not a defense.
No. Mm-mm. It's like you, if you get stopped by the cop and you were doing something illegal, ignorance to the law is not a defense.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not in any court.
That's why you want deniability. You want that insulation layer between you and eyes only or top secret, because you don't want to be called on the carpet to testify about it, and you knew because you had clearance.
Yeah.
and yet you denied it.
With
and
clearance comes great responsibility.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is some of the most irresponsible shit I
Yeah.
have ever seen.
Yeah.
And we talked about this all the time too. We're teaching our children right from wrong. You're teaching your children consequences to actions.
Yes, look what
And
they're
yet-
watching now.
And yet we're watching the wealthy act with impunity
Mm-hmm.
with no consequence because they own everything.
Somebody said it best yesterday. Now there are no laws for any of us.
I mean,
Honestly.
why should there be?
Yeah, caution to the wind. Do what you will.
And when you're out there in the public eye and you are a declared safe space, and look, this is not lingo.
No, we mean it.
Oh, you liberals. Oh, one, I'm not a liberal. Okay.
Never have been.
Right. Independent, right down the road.
Yeah.
It's not a talking point. It's not a jargon
No.
information. It is a safe space.
Yes.
And I mean that in every aspect of the word.
Yeah. And if you get
You know.
offended by something, hey, you need to get in the conversation, and you need to learn how to have a conversation without bringing offense. Because if you start shouting ad hominems at one of my customers,
You're
or
gone.
going off the rails,
Get out.
you're going to bounce out the door.
Get out. And
Yeah.
Don't come back.
Yeah. Because this place is sacred, and I want you to treat it as such.
I would rather go fucking broke
Yeah. Yeah.
than to put up with that kind of bullshit for 1 second.
Absolutely. I'll go back south and live in my tent. It's fine.
I want our trans community,
Yeah.
our gay community, our lesbian, our bi community. Everybody feels safe
Yes.
in these four walls.
Yes.
And I will fucking defend that.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And you had an experience this week that I want to talk about a little bit, because I think a lot of men are going to have this experience. You want to talk about what happened at the grocery store?
Oh yeah, that was really awkward.
He was really upset, but he
Ruined
wasn't
my
mad
day.
at them. But
I understood it.
Yeah.
And I want to preface that by saying I completely understand.
yes,
But I shop at Aldi's because, well, one, it's Aldi's. They have stood firm with their values.
They're
They've stood
they're
firm
for DEI,
for
yeah.
diversity, equity, and inclusion. They have the best prices. They have quality stuff, and it's just a great company to support. So
Yeah.
they get my money.
yes,
I generally get there right when the doors open, so I can avoid crowds and people that like to stand and talk in grocery aisles. And so that's what happened. I got there about maybe 5 minutes before the doors open. Excuse me, drink.
yes,
And there was two ladies, probably in their late 50s, early 60s. So they'd been around enough to see some shit.
yeah, yeah,
And I come just normal walk, got my cart, went and stood in line behind them. And as I was approaching, they were in mid-conversation. They were having a lively conversation. And who knows what it was about. I wasn't really listening, and none of my business. But the fact remains they were having a conversation. And it was a very active, participation on both sides. When I got within earshot, they both turned, looked at me, white male, and it was like an instant mute button. It just... you walk into the room and people are talking and all of a sudden they just shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, ooh, that was the most awkward and uncomfortable minute and 30 seconds that I have had in recent years. And I get it.
yeah,
I get it. I'm not mad at them and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And it's probably good practice.
yeah,
I am a straight white male. However,
Yeah.
I do not share
Yeah.
any bit of that ideology that's being put out.
No.
Not one bit. Matter of fact, it makes me fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. And whatever privilege I have, I will absolutely utilize it to protect the people that I love.
yes,
I hate it that it's like that. I hate it. I despise it. I think the whole privilege thing it just sucks, but that's unfortunately the fact of the way things are.
yeah,
So if there's a way that I can leverage that to cause change, I will
Yeah.
absolutely do it. But that was not the time nor place
Yeah.
to try to explain that. So I just kept my fucking mouth shut and tried to be as, a fly on the wall, right?
Yeah.
And not making a big
not
deal.
make an issue of it. No.
And when I reached for something, it was, excuse me, ma'am. And, things like, just trying to, like, look, I am not part of that nonsense.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot more like me.
Yeah.
I think that a lot more straight white males need to start being more vocal in their support.
Yes.
And not just vocal, but also in their actions.
Absolutely.
So we need
And
to...
you're going to see a lot more of that.
We need to exercise what little bit of privilege we have, because, look, we're both poor.
Yeah.
Right? We're still poor. We're in that community.
Yeah.
But if you have any kind of leverage or quote-unquote privilege, you need to pull that lever as much as you can and to demonstrate that we're not all like that.
Yes. Use it for the betterment of society.
They saw that you had just cut my hair, so my hair was like shaved,
Yeah.
high and tight. And
Yeah.
I probably look like a fucking militant. I still walk like I'm from Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no,
I
look,
remember that.
I am absolutely 100% on the side of the people.
Yes.
Always have been. Growing up alone, I saw this shit for what it was.
Yeah.
And have always been the antagonist, have always been
The adversary.
always the adversary, and spoke up for those that wouldn't speak up for themselves. I got in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah.
I didn't care. And like I said, today's conversation may cost us some customers. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want that anywhere around our people.
Yeah.
I want our people to be able to come in here and let their hair down
And feel safe.
and breathe.
Yeah.
These four walls are safe. We will not allow any of that shit.
Yeah.
And if you think you're being cute, making Nazi jokes or making any kind of reference to that shit, I don't give a fuck if you were just joking.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Get
Don't.
out.
Don't.
Don't come back.
Yeah.
I don't want you. We are not friends.
Yeah.
I don't like you
Yeah.
at all. I want nothing to do with you. And I don't want you in this space.
It's disgusting.
You know,
To even hear it.
well, there you are being divisive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Fucking
Fucking
A.
A. I'm being divisive.
Absolutely.
Because you had your chance for 9 fucking years to put a stop to this. And for those of you that still fucking buying this shit, go fuck yourself. I don't want you anywhere near here.
You're sad little insecure people.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that. This is one thing I wanted to say the other day, and we were gonna do a video on it, but I'm still so enraged that everything I say comes out spitting fire and angry, and so I'm gonna say it here. I don't care what's between your legs. I don't care how you're dressed and who you're dressed like. I don't care what your spiritual philosophy is. All I care about is how good of a person you are internally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And how well you treat others is what matters to me. Show me your actions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Show
That's
me.
what matters.
Yes.
You're sitting around clacking on your keyboard.
Yeah, that's not your actions.
Liking posts and whatever. You think that's activism or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's not.
No.
It's
No.
not. Activism is down dirty in the street. And all this anxiety, and I'm so frustrated trying to build a community. I've been trying to for years. And all I hear is my anxiety, my anxiety, my anxiety. You have anxiety because you're in your own head too much. Mm-hmm. You have anxiety because you're fearful of the world, and you've got to get your ass out here and conquer it, or you will go away. They will put you away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gay
they
rights
will.
came from Stonewall.
Yes. Remember Stonewall?
You know what happened in
Did you see
Stonewall?
anxiety there?
They fought.
Yes.
They fought back.
Yeah. They were amazing.
And
yeah.
they are the heroes.
Yes, absolutely.
They are the reason why you have rights.
Yeah.
Even though they're steadily doing their best to strip them away. Those people fought.
Yeah.
And anxiety is an invitation to the bully.
Yes,
it's an
it is.
invitation to people that would do you harm.
You are a prey animal.
You cannot
That's how they see you.
You can be fearful.
Yeah.
We're all fearful. I'm fearful right now.
Fearful out of caution.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm fearful because I can see what's happening and I know what's coming.
Yeah.
I'm fearful, okay? But you cannot put that fear on display.
Yeah, no.
And you can't be so angry that you become easily triggered by things.
No.
You have to be resolute.
Yes.
You have to hold that chin up and know
Yeah.
we are not going back. We are not taking this shit.
Yeah.
fuck you.
Resolute was the word of the day for me the other day.
Yeah.
And I think John was wondering why I wasn't bothered. And that there was at some point that I made a decision that I was going to be resolute. There was nothing they were going to take from me anymore. They're not going to. They're not going to. And if they come for me, I will go down fighting.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of you going with us.
I would rather die than be taken by these people.
Yeah.
Because I saw what happened in the slave trades. You know, I remember I'm a student of history, and there are fates worse than death. Yeah. And I'm not going anywhere with these fuckers. Anywhere.
No. You're going to come away with some fucked up faces.
Yes.
At the very least.
Yeah. You'll be ventilated. Let's put it that way.
Your electrical system might malfunction.
Yeah.
And look, we have to be that way. This is a war. This is a cultural war. And the tariffs are a distraction.
Yes, they are.
They're horrible.
He's getting ready to invade Mexico and Panama.
The motherfucker's insane.
Don't look away.
And no one is coming to save us.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
People are like, look at Germany. They're protesting for us. No, they're not.
They've got their own Nazi party operating
You
there.
might be a sideline as far as like maybe they're protesting fascism's rise across the world, and we're part of that. But no, American exceptionalist.
No.
It's not for you.
And they may show some solidarity with you, but that's just to wake you up.
Yeah.
That's just to wake you up.
We need to become hard targets.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are part of any marginalized community, please go buy a weapon.
Yeah.
Please learn how to use it safely. Please get proper training.
Yeah.
That is equally important as the purchase.
Yeah.
Get qualified training. And look, I'll give a shout out to Roll Call right here in Scranton.
Yeah.
They do an amazing job.
Yes, they do.
Have probably one of the nicest, cleanest ranges I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They run it very well, very professionally. Every encounter that I've had with any roll call staff has been absolutely positive.
And me as a female as well.
Yeah.
It's been quite amazing.
There isn't a single Trump sign anywhere in that store.
No.
Are some of them supporters? Who knows? But if they are, they keep their fucking mouth shut.
Yeah. They keep their counsel.
They've always been decent. I've seen them decent to all manner of people. And they have a fantastic training program. If you're uncomfortable with a male, they have female trainers as well.
Yeah.
Who are awesome. Absolutely qualified. Do a great job.
Yeah.
So it's right here in Scranton. Their prices are really good. They work with you. Highly recommend get something to store it safely.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's a lockbox or trigger guard or whatever. Trigger lock. Safety is important too.
Yes.
But just to have
training
peace
is
of
very
mind,
important. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And people are like probably looking at us, and I know they always look, because we don't fit the norm of the typical person identified as a witch or a pagan. I'm supposed to have a man bun. You're supposed to have dreadlocks.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be. You're wearing your flowy skirts and black lipstick, and we're all supposed to look like this stereotypical whatever. We're not that. We've always been our true selves. We've always been real.
Yeah.
And our true selves also include the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was instituted not so Meal Team 6 can go stroke themselves to their newest AR. No, it was to prevent tyranny.
Yes.
Tyranny.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing unfold now is tyranny.
Yes.
So please, if you're just completely against firearms, then go take a self-defense course.
Yeah.
And I mean a real one, not some fucking McDojo bullshit. Good Tree MMA, another shout out. They do a great job.
Yeah.
I've seen the results.
And buy some bear spray and some fire extinguishers and
think
some masks.
Proactively about protecting yourself, your loved ones, your home, your castle.
Yes.
Because that may be all we have left.
Yes.
Okay, so
you may have to bug in.
Get a passport.
Yeah.
If you don't already have a passport, and I know the lines are long as fuck, and I heard about the bullshit they're doing with the trans community, just get a fucking passport.
Yes.
Do whatever you got to do. Suck it up and get a passport.
Yeah.
Just give yourself that peace of mind if shit hits the fan,
yes.
the excrement hits the central ventilator.
Yeah. Do it.
You have options.
Yes.
You're not locked in. And yes, it takes time. I would pay for the expedited at this point.
And get some cameras and get some solar backups for your cameras.
Yeah,
Because,
not trying to be alarmist,
Yeah.
just trying to be realistic, because the things that I'm seeing are terrifying, which means the things you're not seeing are even more terrifying.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, these are the things that we're allowed to see in what is now basically state-sponsored media, because they've infiltrated everything, including TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, get a VPN. Be smart.
Yes.
Be smart. And I know we're all supposed to sit here and play a singing bowl and sing Kumbaya and everything's going to be happy, shiny. No. You should know us by now that we're going to straight shot it. Everything that we say, we mean it. Okay? And I'm concerned for the safety of our people.
Yes.
That's why we're standing on business about this being a safe space. It is.
Absolutely.
It absolutely is. And if you are in fear, or if you need a place, not just to, let your hair down, but a place where you have someone to talk to, we have people that you can talk to as well.
And for those jackwagons out there thinking about it, let me remind you, it's not a soft target.
Not at all.
Both of us are trained, and a lot of our customers are. And I'm not going to name their names, but some of them teach.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One in particular.
Yes, one in particular. Yeah. And so if you think it's a soft target, and if you think we're not armed to the teeth and ready for your ass,
look up Interlocking Fields of Fire.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just leave that there.
And I'm on a nice high plane. Yeah.
But we're not impervious.
No.
Bad shit can happen.
I can get got.
But
if I get got, I'm going down trying. I'm not gonna curl up in my bed and shriek away in fear and hide away in my house.
No.
And I'm going to tell you something that I've been trying to teach you for years. There is security in numbers.
Yep.
Come together, damn it.
Yep. Stop bickering about
Get out
dumb
and know
shit.
your community. And for all this fucking holy, I've been talking about this for ages. Stop with the hexing. You're causing problems.
Yeah.
Put the work in. That shit comes back and bites you in the ass if it's done improperly.
Yeah. Do the work.
So do the actual work. Get together with your community. Put your hands and your head in it and get your feet on the ground and get to work. Get to work. And we need to build coalitions. And one of the things I want to do, and I'm putting this out there if anybody's listening, I'm probably going to put out a press release, is that we're looking for a coalition of farmers. We need to get that for our community and get them listed here and maybe have some of them out some days of the week or something like that for sales and stuff.
I love that.
Of that nature. And we'd like to have some of them in to teach sustainability, but we need to build a coalition of people with various talents for various needs, for things that are going to become hard to get. We need growers and we need builders. We need engineers. So let's start building a coalition of people and surround ourselves with those people and know that they are our tribe. There is safety in numbers. It's harder to take a community than it is to take one or two people from their house.
Absolutely. And I keep flashing back to about 4 or 5 years ago when I was walking Bella through the neighborhood. And this is the way visions work sometimes. They don't always come in your dreams. Sometimes it's a flash, right? And we were walking back towards the house on one of the side streets. And when I looked to the left quickly, I saw the neighborhood fenced, like 25 foot tall, anti-climb fencing. Anti-climb meaning that the holes in the chain link are diametrically opposed and they're very, very small. You can't get a foothold or a handhold on them easily.
Yeah, and pulled very tight.
And razor wire along the top, razor wire, just the way we had it when I worked in the penitentiary. There was a no man's land. It was full of razor wire, and this razor wire is sharpened by the wind.
Yeah.
So
you can
it's
hear it singing in the wind.
always
It's
sharp.
really bizarre.
And I saw an American flag posted on top of this chain link fence. It was as if the 4 blocks around us had cordoned off and restricted access to everyone.
Yeah.
And it was like the neighborhood had formed its own defensive barrier.
Yeah.
And I kind of shook my head, looked at it, and it was gone. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I came home and I told you about it.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm like, it was bizarre because it wasn't like, oh, I'm squinting and I think no, fuck, no. It was there it was.
Yeah.
Like you could see the sun glinting off the steel.
I hate those flashes so much.
And it was gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that meant. It may mean we may need to end up bugging in and being that way if things continue the way they are.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate to even talk like that because it sounds conspiratorial. It sounds like you're trying to alarm people. And I'm not trying to alarm you. I want people to be prepared. And if it never happens, awesome.
Yes.
Great. I hope it doesn't. And on that note, we all know through history what happens to tyrants. Like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
History is not kind to these people. History is not kind to the people that support them or enabled them or took part or those who did nothing to stop it. History is not kind to them because they always end up in the bad.
Yeah.
Right? And though you may live somewhere that polishes a turd like our history, and doesn't tell you the full story, nevertheless, you are part of history, and history will remember what you do, what you say, and what you didn't do, and when you didn't say, when you didn't speak up for your fellow human when they were being oppressed. And everybody told you, oh, you're just being an alarmist. Oh, you just calm down. It's not that big a deal. You're just getting too emotional.
Story of my life.
These things come to pass. So, yes, I do believe that this too shall pass. I do believe that those that are absolutely abusing their stolen authority right now will come to pay for it.
Yeah.
I am not saying they're going to pay for it when they die. I'm not going to say they'll pay for it in the next life. That all may be true as well. But I think they will pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
The time when that takes for that to happen, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the universe has a way of self-correcting herself. Mm-hmm. Right? When people act out with impunity and they act as if the rules don't apply to them, suddenly the rules will apply to them in a very harsh way.
Yes.
And, you think about it when you were a little kid being bad and you got away with something, and then you try a little bit more, you get away a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then all of a sudden you're caught, and then it's not just the thing you were caught for. Now they know all the shit you did.
Yes.
And the way that felt.
Yeah.
And that was the lesson that most of us should have learned in our childhood. But those with privilege, there's always an excuse.
Yeah.
There's always a way to skirt the consequence. And so they get it in their head that they can do it all the time to anyone, anywhere, any way they want, because they have the means to skirt consequence. And we've seen that, especially with a fucking idiot in charge.
Yeah. Oh
Skirts consequence his whole fucking life. Called him Teflon Don for a reason. Nothing stuck to him.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, something's going to stick, and it's going to stick so fucking hard, you're going to be burned alive.
It's going to wipe that smirk right off that face.
Yeah.
Yeah. His birdie beak puss he makes.
It's just this is the way that evil is wrought in the world.
Yes.
We go back to the bornless ritual. I am he that hates that evil is wrought in the world.
Yes.
These are wicked people.
Yes.
They're wicked. They have no empathy. They have no care for anyone. It is all about power. And if you're not with them, you're against them, and they'll destroy you.
They're operating completely out of their base nature.
But there's such a thing as overstretching yourself.
Yeah, oh God. Overextension
and when
is
you're working
fun.
on the national scale, and then now on the global scale, because he's threatening and taking out tariff wars and trade wars on our allies.
He's threatened 10 freaking countries.
And these are the people
this
that
is your anti-war president.
Come to our aid.
Yeah.
How can you possibly sit there and defend that?
Yeah.
How is your mind so gone with this nonsense?
Because he's a Russian.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is an operation.
Yeah.
You're watching it unfold. This is not a TV show.
No.
So we have to be smart. We have to protect ourselves. I've heard from customers that are federal employees that they took down their pride flags.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
I talked to a customer
hate
whose
that,
daughter
but
is
I
in the
get it.
military
I
and
get
got
it.
the letter. She's actually a military person, and she got the letter asking her to resign. She's a 14-year veteran of the military and just re-upped and got the letter asking her to resign.
It's way beyond rhetoric.
Yeah.
People are dying. Planes are falling out of the sky because you have somebody from MTV in charge of the
I laugh, but it's not funny.
the NTSB. You have
Fox News
a Fox
is your
News
SecDef.
correspondent is a SecDef with his white nationalist tattoos and fucking dumbass.
Yeah, he's rapist ass. Yeah. He's a drunkard.
You know, I wouldn't fly anywhere right now. No way.
No.
No way. I barely want to drive.
I will. Yeah.
You know, and
Maybe we should just walk. Oh, God. I'm going back to
how
horses.
you can possibly continue to post on social media like these damn liberals.
Yeah.
Do you have a pulse?
Do you have a mirror?
Are you aware of anything? Does anything knock you out of that stupor?
Do we need to record you?
How many times?
Play it back? Yeah. Yeah.
How many times? How many things need to happen before you snap out of it?
Yeah.
And we talked about spell breaking. And we're seeing it.
Yeah.
You're seeing it.
And I'm hearing the cries already.
I'm going to need some time
and I'm like,
to accept you back. I don't know if I can. Those of you that enabled this.
I'm going to make an admission here that's going to be kind of ugly, but I don't give a shit. Hearing you cry about losing your job when you're on that side, on the wrong side of history, it gives me a little joy.
Yeah, because you fucked around and found out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get a little gleeful. I'm going to admit it. I actually belly laughed.
And should we feel that way? No, I hate feeling that way.
I do too. It makes me feel dirty. But
I hate it.
I can't help myself.
But the people have been so vile and so full of vitriol and so repugnant in their behavior.
Yeah.
In your face, you know, you can't make a single post or you can't say anything without somebody feeling the need to regurgitate their bullshit. You know, you can't even have a conversation with people. Families have been torn apart by this shit. What's it going to take to snap you the fuck out of it? Wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just that woke out of you. Yeah, I'm woke.
Yeah.
I am. I've been awake my whole fucking life.
Woke meaning having empathy.
You know what really woke me up? Working in Detroit.
Yeah.
As a little country boy from buttfuck Egypt, Michigan.
Yeah.
Who everybody was white. Right? Everybody was white.
Yeah.
And going to Detroit, where I was one of 3 white guys.
Yeah. That'll wake you up quick.
And you want to talk about a culture shock. But you know what? I learned so much.
Yeah.
And I grew so much being the subject of prejudice.
Yeah.
Being the subject of, well, now they're going to have their fun.
Yeah.
Little white boy in my neighborhood. I'm going to fucking make your life miserable.
Yeah.
I understood it.
Yeah.
I was mad for a minute, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
I
It was
get
like those ladies in front of Aldi's.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And thankfully, I learned those lessons early. Some of you are in your late 60s, and you still haven't learned those lessons because you've put yourself in this bubble of whiteness.
You get rooted and you're ugly, and you're like, how dare they treat me like that?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you treat them like that? You get what you give. I'm going to repeat that. Hear it. You get what you give.
Absolutely. It's the whole throwing the ball thing.
Yeah.
And y'all been whipping these fucking softballs around like crazy. You know what's coming?
Oh, yeah. The ball's coming back.
It's coming back at mock Jesus.
Sort of like that damn boomerang I hit myself in the head with. Oh, my God, that was fun.
But
and here I thought I had reflexes.
And look, this whole episode, you know, look, we're not trying to be triggering for those of you that are scared, that have anxiety. We get it. We have anxiety too. I'm full of it.
And
actually.
you know what the antidote to that is?
Anger.
Oh, well, community. The antidote is, anger. But community is the antidote to that anxiety.
Because you do have a community here.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people around here that are like-minded,
Yeah.
that are community-driven.
Yeah.
They're not out for themselves to
We've
be the
been
leader.
kind of impressed with that lately.
You know,
yeah.
that was a lot of the issues with like pagan communities. Everybody wanted to be the leader, and
Yeah.
the whole thing implodes.
Not everybody can be the guru, y'all. Come
You
on.
know,
Yeah.
so just contribute.
Because most of us who are adversaries, under the light of my Father, we don't need leaders. And we don't take well to people trying to lead us.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The reluctant leader is always the best leader.
Yes, absolutely.
The one that craves the title and the power is never a good leader.
No.
It's always the person they're like, I really don't want to do this. But people are like, no, we really need you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's somebody better. No, really, there is somebody better. There's got to be somebody better. No,
Yeah.
there really isn't. And we really need you. That's the person you want leading you.
Yeah, they're absolutely
and so
amazing.
when it comes to a leadership test, always look for the ones that are least eager to have it.
Shout out to Rick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Richard Starr.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charlie Cross.
Yeah. Those are the
Shout out.
reluctant leaders,
To your boss at Cody.
Miguel.
Miguel
Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Amazing leaders.
Didn't want it, didn't want the spotlight, didn't want the title. They just wanted what was best for their people.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
It all boiled down to that. And they had the means to accomplish it. In other words, they were playing, 5-level chess while the enemy's playing checkers. What's the matter?
I'm stuck on you.
I'm stuck on you.
I got a
too.
feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't move.
I got the whole cord. She's complaining about her headphones. She's sitting 20 miles away.
Oh my God. It just keeps pulling me back. I'm like, bobble-headed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But so take heart in that and look to your friends and the ones that have stood by you and the ones that defend you and look at what you can offer each other in times of distress.
Hang with the ones you know
know.
would take a bullet for you in a hot second.
Yeah. Everybody has their own skill set that they're innately good at.
Yeah.
Right. And it may seem like in civilized society to be not that important, but in an uncivil society, it might be very important.
Yeah.
So look to your friends, look to your family that have actually been there and have towed the line, and look at what you can bring to the table collectively. What you can come together as. Look at your neighbors. If you have good relationships with your neighbors, strengthen those.
Yeah.
Do what you can for each other. Because look, we're all part of the peasant class. I don't think anybody listening to this podcast is an
oligarch.
Is an oligarch.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't have people for that. We have to do it.
Yes.
Right. And that's what you have to think, and what you have to remember is that we are only as good as the least of us.
Yes.
And if you have somebody that is absolutely in the fetal position, do what you can to lend them strength and to lend them aid.
Pick them
when
up.
they need it,
Yeah.
and teach them a skill so that they too can contribute.
Absolutely.
We have to be there for each other.
And for the ick among us, your insecurities are showing, sugar. Okay? If you're triggered by a trans person, you might want to investigate a little deeper why you feel that way.
Yeah.
Because you're triggered for a reason, sweet pea. And it's not even a good reason. And if you're triggered by a person because they have a different religion than you, you're the insecure one, sweetheart.
And don't come here thinking you're going to cause a scene or drama or whatever. I have South Abington PD on speed dial.
Yes.
And above that, we have an attorney who's a corporate litigator.
Yeah.
This is not a normal attorney.
No.
Who is a honey badger from fucking hell.
Absolutely.
So he's expensive.
Go ahead and poke the bear.
But I will pay for it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So just word to the wise.
I will put that shit on a credit card.
This is
I
just
don't care.
keep on driving by if you think you're going to come here and start some shit, because it's not happening.
Yeah. And I don't want to go to jail today.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
But I will.
Because I'm itching, and I hate to admit that. But I am.
But our gay community, our trans community, our bi community, you are safe here.
Yeah.
We'll do everything in our power to make sure you're safe.
Absolutely.
To make sure that this is a place of peace.
We'll even walk you out if we have to.
Absolutely.
How's that go? How's that happening for you? We will walk you out if we have to.
Yeah. And there is surveillance everywhere. And those are just the ones you can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So think really carefully. carefully.
Yeah.
I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
This is a retail store. We need to sell stuff to keep open. We appreciate the people that have supported us. But if you are of that ilk,
Yeah.
don't want you.
Yeah.
I don't want your money. I don't want you here.
If you can come in here and behave and learn and be a decent human being, you can be a decent human being out there too.
Yeah, no poison in these walls, though.
Yeah.
I'm not tolerating it.
None.
And you'll be shown the door.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go out the door, you'll be carried out the door.
Yep.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not tolerating it at all.
I'm old and fat, but I'm stronger than I
We are drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah.
And it is a very defined line.
I'm also a snake handler, so I'm fast as shit. So watch it.
I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
I want you to know that we take this place being a place of peace
Very seriously.
Very seriously.
Yeah.
And as long as we exist, it will exist as well.
It is sanctuary.
You know,
And it will always be sanctuary.
prices are crazy right now. We're doing everything we can to keep our prices low.
Yeah.
Because we know that the struggle is real.
Yeah.
We're doing everything we can. We had to cancel free shipping yesterday.
Yeah.
Because the cost has gone up so exponentially that we just can't afford it.
The last 2 shipments we did, we took a hit.
We ate it
We
hard.
took a hit. Yeah.
You know, and we appreciate the orders. We do very much. The online store is always open.
Yeah.
And we appreciate every single order. If you can do pickup in store, that's great. If you can't, we get it, and we're shipping. We've been shipping almost every day.
Yeah.
And love it.
Yeah.
But we had to do away with that because the cost of things and cost of shipping has gotten really high, especially just in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can't forget the lady at the store with you at the USPS store the other day where she took some items into the post office and couldn't believe that ground was like $14 for something that looked like it didn't even weigh a pound.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like,
So I mean, if the pause on free shipping is going to cause you not to order, I'm sorry. We just can't afford it, and we have to stay alive.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the people that just come in because they need someplace to go, and we're fine with that, even if you don't buy anything. But for those of you that do, it really does keep the lights on in this place. So if you can, even if it's a 50-cent stone, it helps. It helps. It helps keep the lights on. It helps keep this place in existence. It helps keep a safe spot for all of us that really need someplace now where we can be amongst our peers and be with people that are understanding of them.
Yeah.
So if you can, please continue. But we also understand that free shipping was free shipping.
Yeah.
And it may come back, right? If we can get to a place where we're through this nightmare.
Yeah.
And things go back to some semblance of whatever normal will be.
If the stock market crash makes him reverse his tariffs, then I think we'll revisit it relatively quickly. Then.
We held out for as long as we could.
Yeah.
It just got to be too much.
But it's like a day or two ahead of the tariffs when he announced he was going to do it on the 1st.
Yeah.
You watch the prices go.
Oh, yeah, they automatically adjusted so that they don't. Yeah.
I'm like, guys, can you wait? Because he does talk a lot of shit and a lot of things he doesn't do or a lot of things he gets pushed back on. But the thing with tariffs is any president can do that. And they have the executive privilege of doing that at their behest without any assignments from any other people whatsoever. So I guess they, writing on the wall, they did it.
Also want to encourage anybody, especially young folks that have a mind for it, please consider running for office.
Yes, please. If we get to. And
it doesn't need to be running for president, right? Mm-hmm. Run for city council. Run for the school board. Run for
commissioners.
It's a grassroots local effort. We need more young people to be active in that.
Yes.
We look at Congress right now, and really there's only 2 individuals that I can think of that I've seen in active opposition to this, and that is AOC and Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone
Adam
else.
on the other side of the aisle.
A little bit.
Yeah, a lot.
Those two ladies.
Yeah.
Those 2 ladies are going at it.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for them. And you know, if you ridicule that as a typical lib response, well, see previous.
It is what it is.
It's about that. I'm looking at deeds and actions, not words.
Yeah.
And they are doing what they can.
Yep.
You know, could they do more? I don't know. I don't know what they can, but the deck is stacked against everybody right now.
Yeah.
He's declaring war on our allies. He's doing all kinds of crazy shit. And if you support that, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Seriously.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Really. And you're going to be mired in this misery too.
Yeah.
And we made the statement on a few episodes back. It's not our lessons to learn.
Yeah.
But we all have to take a bite of this shit sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we didn't vote for this. We didn't want this.
No.
But here it is.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with reality as it presents itself right now, right here.
Yeah.
And the reality is community needs to come together.
And what still blows my mind is the pagans in this community that did vote for him. It still blows my mind.
Yeah.
Are you really, or is it just aesthetic to you?
I never thought the leopards would eat my face.
Right. Yikes, right? Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was funny as hell when I saw that.
It's sad.
Yeah. But
It is.
yeah.
That you're so entangled in it to not see what's happening.
Yeah.
To not see
what's happening.
It was a double entendre.
Almost. Not quite. No, and the funny thing is, it's just
This motherfucker does a Nazi salute. And people are like, no, it's a Roman salute. There's no fucking Roman salute.
There's no such thing as a Roman salute, y'all. Yeah. You fucking idiots.
Christ.
You'll fall for anything.
Would you watch Gladiator 50 times?
Do I have to spell the word rube for you to understand what you are?
I mean, carnies look for people like you every day.
Yeah, and they find you
Yeah.
in mass, and it's kind of disturbing.
Use your brain.
So, in an effort to, lessons are quite expensive. Classes are quite expensive all over. So start watching our Patreon. I'm launching some classes that are going to be very low cost. They're going to be short bites of information. I'm going to start with my background as an Appalachian herbalist and go forward from there into survival. So we'll be getting into some topics later on down the road. At first, it's just the DIYs on how to herbalism and what you need to know and what you need to look for when you're doing a compound, a formula, whatever, how to tincture, how to make tonics, how to do blending, all of that stuff. So I'm going to do that in short bites, and then I'm going to move into survival herbalism. Mm-hmm. And with that said, I'm also going to launch a line of survival extracts this week.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep the cost down on those.
Yeah.
So that it's cheaper for you than, say, these $24.99 bottles of
shit that don't work.
Yeah. So get with me because that's coming out. I'm probably going to launch those when we come back this week. And I'm going to start with anti-inflammatories at first. So it's going to be turmeric, and I'm going to work on some others that are kind of popular in this sphere. Some women's formulas, some men's formulas. Some formulas for pain. Yeah.
Remember, it's first medicine.
Yeah.
And the hand cream isn't just to make your hands shiny. It actually heals them.
Yes.
We have a customer who is an RN in a dialysis unit.
Yep.
And so he has to deal with Hep C and all kinds of things, right? And he has to scrub his hands with that soap that they use that's just incredibly hard on your skin.
Yeah.
And he said that Tay's formula was the first thing he's found that's been, as good as it is.
Yeah,
and
healing to his hands, actually. Yeah,
I mean, look, she's been married to my klutzy ass, so, I had to pull a fucking nail out of my foot, and she put this shit on it, and it was healed. And,
yeah.
I mean, like, toot sweet.
Yeah. 2 days later, you can't see the hole. And I am going to be carrying that liniment as well.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And this hand cream is amazing.
I got to take home all this stuff for that, too.
Our kitchen looks like a lab now.
It does.
I'm afraid to touch anything. There's glass beakers and all kinds. I'm like, good God. I sit here and play my game and keep my headphones on.
It's too funny. Oh, my God.
But anyway, we love y'all. And I don't know what else to say except that we're here.
Let's coalition build together.
And,
Come on, let's do it. Yeah. There's no time left, people. This is it. The jig is up.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're all we got.
Yep. And we love you.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode of In the Weeds, and we hope you didn't have to pick too much pucker brush off your cloak after visiting with us here. If you liked the episode, please follow, subscribe, and share. And if you're really kind, leave a positive review. Be sure to tune in next week as we publish a new episode weekly. If you're in the area, stop by the store and see us. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.